Imagine a world where pirated music ruled, artists were unpaid, and the music industry stood on the brink of collapse. Enter Spotify, a small startup from Sweden, born during a crisis, with a vision to save music through legal streaming. Founded by Daniel Ek and Martin Lorenzon, Spotify faced countless hurdles, from near bankruptcy to fierce competition, but defied all odds. Today, Spotify is a global streaming giant, worth billions, revolutionizing how the world listens to music. This is a story of bold innovation, resilience, and the unwavering belief that technology could rescue an industry on the verge of ruin. Welcome. This is the Roots to Riches channel, where the journey of success unfolds. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications so you never miss out on incredible stories about how the biggest companies in the world began, their toughest challenges, etc., and the inspiring road they took to greatness. Plus, we'll be sharing life-changing tips along the way. Your support is key to growing this channel. Please share these stories with your friends, family, and anyone looking for inspiration. Thanks for being part of the journey. It's late at night. Daniel Ek, Spotify's co-founder, is staring at a screen full of red numbers, billions of dollars in losses. Investors are frustrated. Users are streaming music non-stop, yet Spotify is bleeding money. How can a company so beloved, so used by millions, be on the brink of collapse? But let's rewind. How did they get here? Mistakes were made, big ones. Today, I'll take you on a wild journey of Spotify's near-death experience and survival. You'll learn that even the most successful companies mess up, but like you and me, they didn't give up, and neither should you. The early 2000s were like the Wild West for the music industry. File-sharing platforms like Napster, LimeWire, and Kazaa were everywhere, and piracy ruled the day. People could download songs for free, but it was a disaster for artists and record labels. Album sales tanked, and the industry lost billions. Some even feared music itself would never recover. Then, like a hero emerging from the chaos, Spotify appeared in 2006. With a bold promise of music for everyone, Spotify offered something revolutionary: cheap, legal streaming. For just $10 a month, the price of one CD, you could access millions of songs anytime, anywhere. No downloading, no viruses, no guilt. Music lovers rejoiced. It was as if the entire world suddenly got their hands on the ultimate jukebox. Spotify didn't just grow, it exploded. Millions of users flocked to the platform, drawn by its convenience and massive library. It felt like magic. But behind the scenes, trouble was brewing. Here's the catch. For every dollar Spotify earned, about 70 cents went straight to record labels and rights holders. Think of it this way. You're working a grueling 10-hour day, but handing over 7 hours worth of pay to someone else. Exhausting, unsustainable, and a little unfair. Spotify's costs spiraled. The more users streamed, the more they paid out. Paradoxically, the company was adding millions of listeners and losing millions of dollars. Investors, once dazzled by its rapid growth, started sweating. Boardroom whispers turned into panicked predictions. Spotify won't last another year. Spotify's struggles weren't just external, they were self-inflicted too. Generous free trials. Spotify's strategy to woo millions of users came at a steep cost. They dangled irresistible free trials, months of premium access for $0, hoping people would convert to paying customers. But every free stream wasn't free to Spotify. They still had to pay full royalties for every song played. Imagine filling a restaurant with customers eating free meals while you still pay suppliers full price. It's a losing game. Underestimating competition, Spotify disrupted the music world, but they underestimated the heavyweights. Apple, Amazon, and Google, all tech giants with deeper pockets, built-in ecosystems, and global clout, weren't about to let Spotify dominate. Apple Music leveraged iPhones. Amazon bundled streaming into Prime memberships. Suddenly, Spotify was David in a battlefield of Goliaths, desperately trying to hold its slingshot steady. Lack of diversification. For years, Spotify was a one-trick pony, music streaming and nothing more. Meanwhile, competitors were exploring other media, podcasts, audiobooks, exclusive content. By the time Spotify caught on, the market was crowded and the golden opportunities were fading fast. By 2017, Spotify's growing pains turned into panic. Investors were furious as profit margins evaporated. Analysts sharpened their pens, labeling Spotify a sinking ship. Boardrooms became battlegrounds, fists pounding tables demanding solutions. Headlines predicted an inevitable collapse. And yet, outside those boardroom walls, millions of people streamed Despacito on repeat, a cruel irony. A song about endless replay symbolized the very problem Spotify couldn't escape, a cycle of free streams, massive payouts, and mounting losses. Would Spotify sink, or could they rewrite their fate? Can you imagine building something amazing only to watch it crumble because you can't pay the bills? This is where things get worse before they get better. At this moment, Spotify faced a crossroads. How could they turn the tide without alienating users or the music industry itself? This was no longer just a story about streaming, it was about survival. Investors were nervous. Quick break. Got something on your mind? Leave a question or comment below. YouTube's new features are making it even easier and more rewarding for viewers like you to jump into the conversation. Don't miss out on this chance to connect and share your thoughts. A simple recommendation from you to a friend helps us reach more people and lets us keep creating content you love. Thanks for being part of this journey. With everything on the line, Daniel Ek and his team pivoted, asking a game-changing question: what can we do differently? It was a moment of reckoning for Spotify, and their response would transform the future of the platform and the audio industry itself. Podcasts, the masterstroke. Spotify realized that people weren't just listening to music, they were craving stories, knowledge, and voices that resonated. In a daring all-in move, they spent hundreds of millions acquiring podcast giants like Gimlet Media, Parcast, and Anchor. Then came the knockout punch, securing exclusive rights to the Joe Rogan Experience, a show that brought millions of loyal listeners straight to Spotify. It was no longer just a music app. Spotify had evolved into an audio-first empire where music, podcasts, and conversation lived side by side. Exclusive content, the Netflix for your ears. Spotify understood the value of content you couldn't find anywhere else. From celebrity-driven podcasts to artist partnerships, they created a treasure trove of exclusive shows and tailored experiences. It was a simple but powerful message. You can only get it here. This strategy turned Spotify into the go-to platform for premium audio, much like Netflix dominated streaming video. Suddenly, they weren't just competing, they were creating a must-have experience that pulled audiences in and kept them loyal. AI and playlists, the magic of personalization. Spotify turned personalization into an art form. With their advanced AI and machine learning algorithms, they created playlists that felt almost psychic. Discover Weekly, Release Radar, and Daily Mixes didn't just play music. They delivered your music. They knew what you liked, what you might like, and what you hadn't even realized you wanted. For users, it felt like magic. For Spotify, it was genius, an experience so personal that it kept listeners coming back day after day, stream after stream. Spotify's transformation wasn't just survival, it was reinvention. They redefined what an audio platform could be, proving that innovation and bold decisions could turn the tide even in their darkest hour. The changes were dramatic. Subscriptions soared. Ad revenue from podcasts skyrocketed. By 2019, Spotify wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. Investors came back, and Spotify reclaimed its position as the streaming pioneer. Today, Spotify is worth over $30 billion and boasts more than 500 million users globally. What role did investors and global strategy play in Spotify's survival? Investors played a critical role by keeping Spotify afloat during its most challenging years. Despite skepticism, Spotify managed to maintain faith from its investors by showcasing growth in user numbers and engagement metrics. At the same time, its global strategy proved pivotal. Spotify expanded aggressively into emerging markets, offering lower subscription costs to attract users in regions with price sensitivity. This growth in new markets, combined with investor backing, gave the platform time to implement its podcast strategy and solidify its dominance. Here are some hidden facts about Spotify. The freemium model was risky, yet revolutionary. Spotify's decision to launch a freemium model was both a gamble and a lifeline. While it attracted a large user base, the cost of free music streaming threatened its survival. The key was their ability to convert a portion of free users into paying subscribers, which dramatically boosted revenue over time. Spotify Wrapped became a viral marketing tool. Spotify's Wrapped feature which summarizes users' listening habits, was not only fun, but also a genius marketing strategy. It turned listeners into brand ambassadors, sharing their results across social media every year. Global expansion was key to survival. To grow its user base, Spotify aggressively expanded into emerging markets. Offering localized pricing and content allowed it to tap into price-sensitive regions, ensuring steady growth when competition in developed markets became fierce. Spotify's ability to pivot, innovate, and expand globally transformed it from a near-collapse story into one of the most successful players in the audio industry. Spotify's story isn't just about business, it's a lesson for anyone feeling stuck. Think about it. Spotify was on the brink of collapse. Mistakes were made, problems seemed impossible, and survival looked unlikely. Sound familiar? Whether you're running a business, chasing a dream, or facing personal challenges, ask yourself, what can I do differently? Who can I ask for help? What do I need to let go of to survive? Spotify adapted. They fought through their rock bottom, and so can you. Spotify's success wasn't luck. It was grit, innovation, and persistence. Mistakes didn't define them. How they responded did. And here's the thing. Sometimes when everything falls apart, it's the universe nudging you towards something better. So what's your survival story? Keep going, because your next chapter might just be the one where you win. From its humble beginnings in a cramped Stockholm office to becoming a billion-dollar powerhouse, Spotify's story is a testament to overcoming adversity. By blending cutting-edge technology, personalized user experiences, and a data-driven strategy, Spotify not only survived, but thrived, transforming the music industry forever. It went from a struggling startup to an essential part of our daily lives, proving that even in the face of near bankruptcy, success is possible for those bold enough to dream big. Before you go, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Every click helps this story flow further, and together, we're unstoppable. Let's make success go viral, kind of like a Spotify playlist.